Hey, Kerry here, Best of U.S. Homes. A little bit of different setting that you're accustomed to seeing me in. This video has been prompted by a phone call I got a couple of weeks ago from Chad Ostby out of Missoula, Montana. He was prompted to call me based on my video that I did about coaching, real estate coaching, and my comment that some of the coaches have never sold real estate. And he was intrigued by the direction I was going and the information I was passing out. And about midway through the conversation, he asked me the question, who is Kerry Grinkmeyer? He says, I've done some research on you. I've looked you up on LinkedIn and I've read your bio on your website, bestofushomes.com. But who is Kerry Grinkmeyer? And so I shared with him some things about me, and I said, but if you really want to know who Kerry Grinkmeyer is right now, you need to read my book. And the first part of the book goes into in detail of how I got to where I am and where I want to go and what has motivated me. If that doesn't satisfy you and you really want to know, read the first book I wrote. It's called Tall Grass. I wrote this, I believe, in about '07, shortly after I retired. The motivation of this is I had finished my career, I had retired, I had been successful, and then I'd had some failures, and I wanted to know why what happened to me. And I actually analyzed the first 14 years of my life because I believe that's when your character is formed. So that brings us to today. And as the title of this video says, I want to bring smiles into children's lives this Christmas. Back in '07, I believe it was, my daughter, who has since passed away, challenged me to write a Christmas book about our Christmas family tradition, the Christmas Web. It all evolved around her fascination with Elf on the Shelf, and that a mother and two daughters had this Christmas tradition that they created and turned into a commercial success. And she said to me, Dad, you need to write a children's book about our Christmas tradition because it ties so well into the Elf on the Shelf. And the whole theme of this started when my children were teenagers, and I recognized that their mother, my wife, was spending 6 weeks preparing for Christmas morning, and then they would blow through it in about 15 minutes. And I felt I needed to slow Christmas down. So I came up with this story that Santa needed some help in his deliveries. So he employed the help of his elves and redesigned his sleigh to put in a GPS system, made it aerodynamic, and he needed some help. So he also put a rumble seat in the back seat, and they held recruitments, and 4 elves were chosen to travel with Santa. What the elves then came up with was this bright idea that when Elf on the Shelf showed up shortly after Thanksgiving, he would deliver a magic wand. On this magic wand would be 70 yards of yarn. That yarn was then, the wand was left in the Christmas stocking, hung by the mantle with care, and then when the children woke up, the elves had come with Santa on Christmas Eve, and they had unwound the yarn all through the house, upstairs, downstairs, room to room, and hidden a gift somewhere in the house where only the child with their specific magic wand could find it. Well, it did what I wanted it to do. It slowed Christmas down. It actually then evolved into a family tradition. We started with my 2 children doing it. When it ended, we had 9 of them. And the word web was very accurately described. So that's what it's all about. If you want to learn more about it, go to christmasweb.com, and you'll see there a video that one of the local TV stations, Fox News, did one year on our Christmas activity. You'll also find the video that I did to try to take it to Shark Tank. That didn't work out, but that video's there, and you'll find at the end of this video a link to those 2 videos. So, what does that have to do with me bringing smiles to children? Well, we produced about 10,000 of these. I actually had this illustrated. I wrote the book. And then I contracted in China to have it made, and had 10,000 of them sent on ship across. And over the years, we've sold all but about 2,500. Well, those 2,500 are sitting right out there in my garage. And my wife thinks we need to move them on. So what I want to do is give them to you. I want, if you see this video and you can envision a use for this, as you can see, it's a gift set, a Christmas gift set with the book and 3 magic wands. And if you have a church group that you would like to make this a part of your Christmas celebration, if you have, if you're involved with Toys for Tots and you'd like to have this as a part of your program, or if you're a charitable organization and you just want to give gifts to less fortunate people, this is an option for you. It retailed for $30. And as I say, I want to give them to you for free. Now, what's the catch, Carrie? The catch is you got to come pick them up. I live in Mountain Brook off Cold Harbor Drive. I'd like you, if you're interested, to email me at bestofus.kg@gmail.com and give me your contact information and tell me a little bit about how you would like to use them and how it would make some children smile. That's my objective this Christmas, to make 2,500 children and probably 10,000, because there are multiple wands, and I envision that families with multiple children find them useful as their Christmas. Ideally, you would distribute them before Thanksgiving, so when the elf at the shelf arrives, the wand goes in the Christmas stocking. So that's a little bit more about who Carrie is. Carrie has been fortunate in his life. I'm a total right brain person. I like to create things. I've now published 3 books, a children's book, kind of an autobiography, and then a book about real estate. And I'm working on my actually 5th book. I have another book that I'm not ready to distribute. And when it is, you'll understand why. So that's Chad. That's who Carrie is. That's what he's all about. Email me if first of all, you've got to be able to make it to Mountain Brook, and they come boxed in 6. So ask for a multiple of 6, and when we run out, I'll email you back and say, no, there's no more available. But my wife wants the additional parking space. What she told me was basically she would like to have a new Corvette, but she doesn't want to give up her Porsche. So I need the space, okay? So the Christmas Web, www.christmasweb.com. Watch the videos that are going to follow right here and become acquainted with it. I'd also ask you to do me a favor. If you go to christmasweb.com, you're going to see a top tab that says Shannon's Story. Click on that and read that. I lost my daughter to cancer December 26th, 2014. My pledge to her on her deathbed was that her memory would never die. So if you would read that, and then if you would share her story and the Christmas Web story, you'd make my Christmas wonderful. So that's who Carrie is. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing some more interesting things in real estate. I want to be a help to everybody in my community with real estate, and I want to be a help to every agent across the country in what I think is going to be a very changing world in real estate. But right now, we got to take care of the children and the smiles on their faces and introduce them to the Christmas Web. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy Halloween, actually, first. Then Happy Thanksgiving. And then Merry Christmas.